Let me ask you something. Who are you when the door closes and it's just you and those kids? Who are you when the pacing guide says one thing, but your conscience says another? Who are you when the curriculum whispers, stay safe, stay quiet, stay surface, but your spirit says, go deeper? This is for the ones who goes deeper. This is for the ones who teach Black history when no one else does. The one who stands in PLC meetings and here, we already covered that in February, and smiles politely, knowing February is not enough to hold a people whose history began at the dawn of humanity. The one who risks the side eyes, the emails, the why are you making this about race? The one who keeps teaching anyways. Check this out. I'm a 7th grade Black male social studies teacher. I see my students every day trying to figure out who they are, trying to figure out where they fit in the world. And I refuse to hand them a story that starts in chains. I refuse to teach a version of history where Blackness enters the timeline as property. Because before there was a plantation, there was Nubian civilization. Before there was bondage in the West, there was brilliance out East. Before America, there was Africa. And not just Africa as a footnote to European colonization, Africa as the origin of mankind. Listen up. When we teach through the lens of out of Africa, we're not being political. We're being honest. Humanity begins there. The story of our world begins there. So why would the curriculum not? When I teach about ancient Kemet, what the world calls Egypt, I don't teach it like it floated in space disconnected from Blackness. I teach it as part of Africa, as a seed of civilization, architecture, mathematics, medicine, writing, governance, knowledge. Because if I don't tell that story fully, who will? When we teach about the medieval West African empires, Ghana, Mali, Songhai, we're not just listing kings and trade routes. We're restoring memory. We're showing that wealth, scholarship, diplomacy, and global trade arrived along the Niger River long before Europe woke up from the Dark Ages. And when we talk about the Swahili coast in East Africa, we connect those cultural rhythms, those trade networks, those linguistic blends to the cultural DNA that survived in the Americas. Because culture does not disappear. It adapts, it resists, it survives. That is not radical. That is responsible. I'm not done yet. To the teacher who weaves Black history into world history, not as an add-on, not as an also, not as a special event, but as part of the fabric, I see you. To the teacher who doesn't just teach Harriet Tubman and Martin Luther King Jr., but teaches the systems, the movements, the philosophies, the resistance strategies, the global connections, I see you. To the teacher who knows that representation is not a poster on the wall, but a narrative in a lesson, I see you. Because let's be honest, it's easier to stay safe. It's easier to teach the whitewashed version. It's easier to say, I don't want to deal with the backlash. But you didn't become a teacher to be comfortable. You became a teacher to be impactful. You became a teacher because somewhere along the line, somebody either gave you the truth or withheld it, and you made a decision. You said, not in my class. You said, my student will know. You said, we will not engage in intellectual erasure. Keep this in mind. There will be days when it feels lonely, days when colleagues keep their distance, days when parents question your motives, days when students repeat what they hear at home. But remember this, you are not teaching for applause. You are teaching for awakening. You are teaching for the quiet moment when a student says, wait, we built that? We had universities? We traded with the world? We were kings and scholars and explorers too? You are teaching for the kid who sits up straighter, for the kid who starts turning assignments in, for the kid who thought history had nothing to do with her. Until now. This part is important. Dr. Carter G. Woodson said, if you can control a man's thinking, You do not need to worry about his actions. That's why this work matters, because curriculum is power, narrative is power, memory is power. And when you teach the full story, you are breaking chains that are invisible but heavy. You are expanding the intellectual life of your classroom. You are refusing to let learners disengage because they don't see themselves in the story. You are saying you belong in the story, not as victims, not as footnotes, but as contributors to civilization. Listen to me clearly. Teaching Black world history is not anti-anyone. It is pro-truth. It is pro-justice. It is pro-education. When we teach Black history beyond slavery, we are not erasing slavery. We are contextualizing it. When we teach Africa before colonization, we are not romanticizing. We are restoring balance. When we weave it all year, not just in February, we are not being rebellious. We are being thorough. History is not a month. Identity is not a unit. Culture is not a warm-up. To the teacher who takes this risk, keep going. When the system says status quo, you say scholarship. When the curriculum narrows, you widen. When the narrative shrinks, you expand. When fear whispers, you stand. You gotta keep going, because one day, one of your students is going to become a teacher, a lawyer, a historian, a policymaker. And they will remember that in school, someone told them the truth. Someone trusted them with complexity. Someone believed they could handle the truth. And that seed you planted will outgrow every passive-aggressive comment, every complaint, every side glance. That is legacy. That is courage. That is teaching. So to the brave teachers of Black history, you are not alone. You are not divisive. You are not extreme. You are necessary. And every time you step into the classroom and choose truth over comfort, you are shaping the world. So say it loud and say it proud. Still we teach, still we rise, and still we tell the whole story and nothing but the whole story. If you've ever been side-eyed for teaching truth, if you've ever been told, we don't need to cover that again, if you've ever felt the weight of being the only one in your building pushing for a fuller, more honest Black history, this video is your reminder. You are necessary. See, I'm a 7th grade Black male social studies teacher, and like every day I see how teaching the full story of Kemet, Nubia, Mali, Songhai, the Swahili coast, I see how that can shift a student's entire sense of identity. That's not radical. That's responsible. And this is what it means like to teach for buy-in, not just compliance. If you believe in culturally grounded teaching, real history, and empowering students through truth, hit the like and subscribe button. More content is coming for educators who refuse to shrink the narrative. And don't forget, still we rise, still we teach, and still we tell the whole story.